I'm so glad you're here, whether you're lying down in bed with the lights dimmed low, slowly melting into your pillow, or curled on the couch letting your mind float like a leaf on still water. This space is for you. Tonight, we begin something quietly astonishing. We'll drift into the world of time, not just what it is, but how it bends, stretches, and slips softly beneath your feet without you ever noticing. The story of time dilation isn't just science, it's poetry folded into the laws of the universe. It's about the shape of waiting, the weight of speed, and how two hearts can beat apart in the same moment. Now I should gently warn you. This tale may soothe you so well you won't hear the end. But if it keeps your mind glowing a bit too long, I promise that even wakefulness can be restful when filled with wonder. If you find peace in this moment, I'd be grateful if you gave this video a quiet like and maybe subscribe for more dreamy science. And if you're comfortable, I'd love to know where you're listening from and what time it is there. Your words light up a map of bedtime from around the world, a constellation of rest. As always, this story is for relaxation and gentle education only. It is not a substitute for medical advice or professional care, just a safe harbour to fall asleep with curiosity. Now, let's begin. Your body feels still tonight, your breathing slow, the room quiet, and the clock on the wall mysterious. Each tick seems to match your heartbeat. It all feels so consistent, so absolute. But what if I told you that clock is lying? Not intentionally, of course. It's doing its best, but time isn't as simple as the rhythm it pretends to keep. Time is more like a soft, flowing current, and your body, your thoughts, your memories, they are tiny boats adrift on it. And sometimes, without ever noticing, your little boat floats faster or slower than someone else's. This is time dilation. It sounds technical, but feel it with me instead. Imagine two birds flying side by side. One soars higher, skimming the edge of the sky where gravity loosens its grip. The other glides low, where Earth holds tight. They flap their wings in sync, but strangely when they meet again, they aren't quite the same. One has aged a little less, a few heartbeats spared, a tiny ripple in time's quiet stream. You see, time bends. It bends when things move quickly, and it bends when they're near something heavy. This isn't fantasy. It's Einstein's gentle revolutionary truth. That time is stitched into space, a fabric called space-time, and like fabric, it can wrinkle and stretch. You've felt time change, haven't you? In moments of joy, hours slip away like mist. But when you wait, truly wait, for news, for healing, for someone, each second expands, heavy and slow. That feeling isn't just psychological, it's a tiny echo of what the universe does on grander scales. Imagine you're floating through space, gently gliding beside the International Space Station. From Earth, it seems like you're circling quickly, but if you were up there, time would pass just a little slower for you than for someone on the ground. Not by much, just microseconds, but over enough time, it adds up. Astronauts come home slightly younger than if they'd stayed. They don't notice it, not really. There's no sudden shift, no time machine hiss or glow, just a subtle gift from speed and gravity, a moment folded inside a moment. And that's the secret. Time dilation doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't sting or shimmer. It hums beneath your senses, unnoticed, like the faint vibration of a deep cello note long after it's played. So tonight, as you rest, you might wonder, is time flowing evenly in this room? Is your head aging at a slightly different pace than your feet, pulled ever so gently by gravity? The answer, curiously, is yes. The difference is unimaginably small, a fraction of a second over your entire life. But still, it's real. Just by lying here on Earth, you are living proof that time is elastic. Let your thoughts stretch with it. Picture a mountain, tall and still. A clock resting at its base ticks faster than one perched at the peak. Why? Because the mountain pushes it further from Earth's centre, and time, oddly obedient, flows just a little more freely there. That's how delicate the universe is, how precise, and how quietly strange. You're not a bystander to time, you carry it. Every cell in your body keeps a rhythm. Your memories are woven through time's gentle threads, and as the cosmos spins, and planets whirl and galaxies race away, you are moving with them, your own little timeline swaying among giants. This is why GPS satellites need special clocks. They orbit Earth far above, moving quickly and light on gravity. If their clocks ticked like ours, they'd fall out of sync, so they're adjusted constantly to account for the stretching and slowing of time. The world you move through, the phone you carry, the maps you trust, they all depend on a universe where time is never quite the same in two places. So tonight, as you fall asleep, imagine time as something not rigid but soft. Not ticking but flowing. A river, yes, but one with eddies, with whirlpools, with silent depths. And you are floating on it gently and always. Maybe, just maybe, that explains why some dreams feel longer than the night allows. Or why a loved one's touch seems to hold the world still for a moment. Time isn't only what we measure, it's also what we feel. And what we feel, sometimes, is that something is shifting. That time doesn't quite behave. But what happens when speed isn't just gentle, but extreme? When you move so fast that time begins to melt away? Close your eyes and imagine riding the edge of light itself. Out there, something strange begins to happen. You begin to drift now, not just into sleep, but into motion. Imagine yourself stepping into a sleek, silent spacecraft, hovering just above the edge of Earth's atmosphere. There is no sound here, only the soft hum of systems and your own breath in your helmet, slow and even, like waves on a quiet shore. With a whisper of energy, the craft moves forward. Faster, faster still. You watch the Earth fall away beneath you, its blue turning darker, its clouds dissolving into soft spirals. The stars, once still, now stretch just slightly, and something very subtle, very strange begins to happen. Time slows. Not for you, and to you, nothing feels different. Your hands move as they always have. Your thoughts arrive in rhythm. Your breath continues its slow rise and fall. But if someone on Earth were watching you, really watching, they would see your moments stretch. Your seconds would look longer. Your movements would seem just a touch more graceful, as though slowed for effect. This is the slowness at the edge of speed. The closer you travel to the speed of light, the more time bends to your motion. You're not doing anything wrong. You're simply moving quickly through space. And the universe, ever kind, lets you borrow time to do it. This is not fiction. This is the deep truth of relativity. Not theory in the uncertain sense, but in the way a theory becomes law, because no experiment has ever proved it wrong. Time dilation. When you move very fast, time slows down for you, not just in sensation, but in real measurable effect. Imagine two perfectly identical clocks. One stays on Earth, the other travels with you at nearly light speed. When you reunite, the travelling clock will have ticked fewer times. You will be younger, not metaphorically, biologically. Your cells, your skin, your thoughts will have aged less. And it doesn't have to be dramatic. Even our fastest planes, our high-speed satellites experience this. Their time flows just a little differently, so gently that only atomic clocks can catch it. But scale it up. Imagine a ship flying near the speed of light, off toward a distant star. You could travel out for a few years, turn back, and return home to find decades have passed. Children grown, cities changed, skylines unfamiliar. To you, only a short time passed, but to the Earth, you were gone for a generation. Isn't that strange? Time, something we treat as universal, is not. It's more like a perspective, a point of view. You're not cheating time, you're simply riding a different path through space-time. And time, quietly, respectfully, goes a little slower for you on that path. It's like moving through syrup instead of air. The faster you push, the more resistance you meet. But instead of physical drag, the universe drags on your time. At rest, everything feels consistent. But once you move quickly enough, or really quickly, and clocks begin to disagree, and clocks are only the beginning, because everything you are, your thoughts, your feelings, your heartbeat, all of it lives on time's rhythm. So when time shifts, your entire being shifts with it. Imagine now you're travelling to Proxima Centauri, one of our closest stars, 4 light-years away. At near light speed, the journey might take you a few days, maybe a week from your perspective. But back on Earth, years might pass. The seasons would cycle, new lives would begin, old ones would end, and you would return unchanged, carrying the past forward into the future, like a letter sealed in a bottle, thrown upstream into time's river. That's what motion does. It slows time gently and invisibly. And it works both ways, because just as speed slows time, gravity does too, a connection we'll explore more soon. But here, at the edge of velocity, something else becomes clear. Light is the universe's ultimate speed limit. Nothing with mass, not even your spacecraft, no matter how advanced, can quite reach the speed of light. As you accelerate closer and closer, you need more and more energy. And time, ever loyal, keeps slowing in return. It's a beautiful symmetry, as if the universe is saying you may move fast, but not without consequence. And light itself, pure, massless light, experiences no time at all. From a photon's perspective, the moment it leaves a star and the moment it touches your eye are the same. No waiting, no travel, just presence. That is the stillness light carries, but you with mass must move differently. You stretch the moments you pass through, and when you return from orbit, from speed, from starlight, you carry with you the evidence of that drift. There's a calm beauty in knowing you are already moving through time in such a subtle, mysterious way. Even your rest is not truly still. The earth spins beneath you. It flies around the sun. The sun moves through the galaxy. And so your body, nestled in bed, is sailing through space-time at unimaginable speed, carving a path that gently curves time itself. Maybe that's why sleep feels different some nights, why dreams take longer than the night allows. Maybe deep down your body knows time is never still. Not for the stars, not for you. You live in a universe where speed and time are woven together, where moving fast doesn't just blur the world, it slows the world's unfolding, and every motion, every journey, every spin of a distant galaxy reshapes the meaning of now. So rest easy tonight, knowing you are never truly still. Even in sleep you travel. But what if you weren't just speeding through time? What if time itself was curving beneath your feet? Not because of motion, but because of mass. Because something nearby was pulling time into itself. Let's fall now into the gravity of time. Let's fall through space-time itself. You don't feel it, but you are always falling. Not the kind of falling that ends with a thud or a landing, but a soft, endless curve around something massive. Right now, even as you lie still, the earth is pulling you close. And yet you're not crashing down. You're moving sideways fast enough to keep missing the ground. A quiet orbit, held by invisible threads. This is gravity, but not just the kind you learned in childhood. Not just apples and dropping stones. Gravity, in the deep way of things, is something more subtle, more poetic. It is not a force that pulls things together. It is the bending of time itself. Picture space-time as a great soft sheet, not flat and rigid, but flexible, like a stretched fabric. Now place something heavy on it. The Earth, a planet, a star. The fabric dips, curves, folds, and anything nearby, or even light, rolls toward the curve. Not because it's being yanked, but because it's following the easiest path. The path time lays out in its new curved shape. This is how you fall, not down, but forward into curved space-time. Your fall is a story written by the mass beneath you and the time it distorts. Now imagine standing at the top of a mountain. You breathe thinner air. The sky darkens just a bit. Time too changes up here, just slightly. It flows a little faster than at sea level. Why? Because you're farther from the mass of the Earth, and gravity's grip is looser. Now go deeper. Imagine yourself near something far heavier. A neutron star. A collapsed sun, dense enough that a teaspoon of it weighs more than a mountain. Here, time doesn't just slow, it stretches. It thins, like honey warmed in your hands. Clocks near this mass tick noticeably slower than ones far away. Not metaphorically, actually. And then go deeper still, toward the edge of a black hole, a place where gravity becomes so intense that time itself begins to freeze, not suddenly but gradually, like a sunset that never quite ends. You hover just above the event horizon, the edge of no return. From your perspective, a few minutes pass, but outside the universe moves on. Hours, years, centuries drift by. You're still there, suspended, watching stars arc away, while the cosmos forgets how long you've been gone. That's the quiet trick of gravity. It slows time, it slows everything, and it happens all around you. Not just in black holes or neutron stars, but here, in valleys, at sea level, on planets. Even your body plays a role. The atoms inside you, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, were once forged in stars. Heavy elements created in massive explosions, flung across space. Those same elements now curve space-time just a little around you. You're both shaping and shaped by time. You're a little dip in the fabric, and because of that, your time flows just a little differently from someone else's. If you were to build two identical clocks, one kept on the ground, one placed atop a tall tower, they would tick differently. The one higher up would run slightly faster. This has been measured, repeated, confirmed. Your position in gravity shapes your experience of time, so tonight, as you lie down, consider that you're resting deeper in the Earth's curve than the ceiling above you. Your pillow, your chest, your toes, all at subtly different depths in gravity. And so in a very small way, each part of you experiences a slightly different now, but we don't notice it. We are made for it. Our hearts, our lungs, our thoughts, they grow up in this curve. To us, it feels normal. And yet the universe is always whispering its strange truths, always stretching time near the massive and letting it flow more freely far from weight. Gravity doesn't just shape orbits. It shapes their memory. It shapes aging. It shapes the way stars burn and how galaxies spin. And it wraps us in a quiet, invisible net, a net that holds us gently against the Earth, while time slips differently moment by moment, all around. If you've ever stood on the edge of a canyon and felt a strange pause, a stillness in your chest as you looked into the vastness, that was time, bending softly. You are feeling the depth of the Earth not just in space, but in seconds. So tonight, sleep in the curve. Let your thoughts drift like starlight across bent time. And remember, every moment you live is already part of this great quiet fall. But not all clocks fall at the same pace, some travel instead. And as they move, they tell their own peculiar tale. Let's listen now to the story of a clock that ran too slow. Picture two clocks, identical in design, perfectly tuned, two quiet little hearts beating in unison. You place one on your bedside table, the other you strap to the wrist of someone you love, an astronaut perhaps, as they climb aboard a spacecraft. You wave goodbye, and they rise into the sky, their body, their breath, and their time all drifting away from yours. Back in your room, your clock ticks on. It doesn't question, it simply counts, 1 second, and another, and another. The rhythm you've come to know and trust. Up in orbit, though, the other clock ticks too, but it ticks a little slower. A fraction, a whisper, barely noticeable, until you wait long enough. You see, that clock, the one soaring around Earth, is experiencing time differently. Not metaphorically, not emotionally, literally. It's running too slow, this isn't a malfunction. It's not because the watch is broken or cold or tired, it's because it's moving fast, because it's farther from Earth's centre, and because, as Einstein showed us, motion and gravity both conspire to reshape time. It's called gravitational time dilation, and relative velocity time dilation. But names don't matter when you're lying still in bed, watching time soften. All you need to know is this. In this universe, how you move, and where you are, changes how fast time flows. And this change isn't just theory, it's measured, tracked, accounted for. Every GPS satellite above you carries a clock. And without adjusting for both the speed of the satellite and the difference in gravity, the whole navigation system would drift by kilometers each day. Imagine that and getting lost on Earth because of the way time stretches in space. So we compensate. We've learned to whisper to time, thank you, but not so fast. Now come back to the two clocks, one at home, one in orbit. Eventually the astronaut returns. You embrace, smile, laugh. But if you were to compare the two clocks, you'd find something almost magical. Their time is no longer the same, maybe only microseconds off, but that difference is real. And it means that for one of you, time passed more slowly. It's as though the traveller dipped into a quieter current of the river, flowed gently while you rushed ahead. It's small but profound, because it tells us time is not fixed. It adapts, it listens, it flows differently for each of us, depending on our path, and that includes you. Right now, your own body contains clocks, not the ticking kind, but chemical clocks, cellular clocks, chronometers of bone and blood and breath. They mark your days, record your stress, track your sleep, age your skin, and yet even those clocks respond to where you are and how you move. A mountain climber, resting at higher altitude, lives time just a little faster. A diver far below the surface ages just a little slower. The difference is infinitesimal, but it exists. The Earth's gravity changes slightly with height, with mountain, minerals, and molten cores. And your time listens. You are not separate from this. You are never outside the flow. You're a clock, a collection of tiny synchronized clocks, living in a world that bends, dips, and swells with time. Maybe that's why some moments feel eternal, and others vanish in an instant. Because time does not move like a train, it moves like a dream. And this dream has edges defined by mass and speed and movement. Now imagine this. Two twins, one remains on Earth, the other travels away, fast, far into the stars. When they meet again, one has lived fewer days, their faces show it, their memories echo it, and though they are both still young, one has wandered farther through space-time, not just in distance, but in time itself. This is the twin paradox, a thought experiment turned experimental truth. Time doesn't just pass, it travels with us, and sometimes it waits behind. There's something deeply tender about that idea, that you might move through the world, and time quietly gives you space to do so, that you are always in motion, even in stillness, and time responds. So tonight, in your quiet resting body, know that your moments are not absolute. They are shared with the Earth, with the stars, with every motion you've ever made, and maybe, just maybe, that explains the feeling of déjà vu, or the way old memories sometimes feel newer than last week. Maybe the clock that ran too slow is not far from you after all. Maybe it's you, and if time can be shaped by motion and mass, then what happens when you step away from the world entirely? What happens when you sink below the surface into Earth's deep silent heart? Let's descend now, into the still dark mystery of time beneath the mountain. You are descending now, not into sleep, though sleep will find you soon, but into the earth, down past the wind and weather, past trees and roots, into something quieter, older. Step softly with your imagination. Feel the cool air thicken, the light dim. You're travelling through rock, through history, through layers that have pressed and held time for millions of years. The deeper you go, the more the world stills. No birdsong here, no ticking clocks, only the distant echo of dripping water and the hush of stone. You've arrived, Woyid, in a cavern deep beneath the mountain. Here your body feels heavier, but not in the way weights pull at your limbs. It's more subtle. It's the pressure of silence, the density of time, and strangely, your time is now different. It's not imagination, it's not mood, it's the quiet truth of gravitational time dilation, humming in the dark. Because the deeper you go beneath the Earth's surface, the closer you are to the planet's center, and the stronger gravity becomes. Not enough to crush you, just enough to change your seconds. In the depths beneath the mountain, your clock runs a little slower than a clock on the peak above, maybe only by a few billionths of a second each day. But over a lifetime, even those quiet moments add up. Imagine this cave holds a perfect atomic clock. Another sits far above, where snow caps the world. Over years, scientists compare their rhythm, and slowly, surely, the mountain clock pulls ahead. The underground one lags, like a story told a little more slowly, savouring each word. This is the song of the deep. It's not just theoretical, it's been measured. Real experiments, with real clocks, carried up and down mountains, time recorded, time compared. Even the passage of time, it seems, is affected by where you choose to stand. You are living proof of this, even as you rest here in imagination. Your body has different depths. Your head, your chest, your feet, each one a little closer or farther from the Earth's center. Each one, in theory, living slightly different time. So the question rises like mist in the cave. What is a moment? Is it a shared agreement between clocks, a breath, a heartbeat? Or is it something more, something shaped by the curve of space, the weight of gravity, the stillness of stone? Beneath the mountain, time loses its urgency. There are no appointments here, no screens, no schedules, only the slow carving of stalactites, drip by patient drip, and the quiet memory of ancient oceans pressed into fossils at your feet. You run your hand along the wall. It's cold, rough, but it holds stories from before time had names, long before humans marked years or counted days, and still, down here, the earth holds time close. Like something precious, something heavy. It makes you wonder, if gravity slows time, then perhaps the earth is a keeper of slow things, not just rocks and roots, but stories, secrets, echoes of the very beginning. And the deeper you go, the more time you leave behind. Maybe that's why deep places feel sacred. Caves, crypts, canyons. They remind us that not all time moves the same, that some time is meant to be slow, to stretch, to breathe. Even your thoughts slow here, your body sinks, your breath deepens, and somewhere inside you understand stillness is not the absence of motion, it is the presence of gravity's care. Rest in this, let the idea wrap around you like stone wraps around silence. Know that time isn't ticking past you, it's flowing through you, bending around you, following you, and gently changing based on where you stand. You may never notice it, not in days or hours, but the universe knows, the mountain knows, and in the gentle difference between here and there, you find something almost spiritual, a reminder that time is not just a measure, but a landscape. You don't need to climb Everest or descend into the Marianas Trench to feel it. You're already part of this dance. Each breath you take bends space ever so slightly. Each step you make leaves a ripple in the river of time. So next time you stand on a mountaintop, or wander through a canyon, or lie on the floor and look up at the ceiling, remember, your body, like the clocks, is always whispering to gravity, and gravity always answers by curving your time. Now, what if we took this even further? What if two people born on the same day parted ways, one going fast, the other staying still, and one of them returned younger? What story would their faces tell? Let's turn now to the strange, gentle tale of the twin who returned younger. Imagine two twins born just seconds apart. They grow together. Same home, same sky, same rhythm of days. Their laughs sound alike, their eyes mirror each other. Their hearts beat with matching drums. Now imagine this. One of them steps onto a spacecraft, a quiet farewell, a soft launch into the stars. Not forever, just a journey, a loop around the galaxy, a high-speed arc through space-time. The other stays. They keep to the Earth, walking familiar streets, watching seasons bloom and fade, marking birthdays with candles and cake. Time passes. Years on Earth, but not the same years on board that ship. You see, for the one moving fast, time flows more slowly. This is not metaphor, not poetry, and it's physics. Relativity says so. The faster you move, the slower your internal clock ticks. Your molecules shift gently, your cells divide more slowly, your heart's rhythm finds a longer space between beats. So while the earthbound twin lives through decades, the one in motion ages far less. Eventually the ship returns. There's a reunion, tender, still, breath-held. And something is different. They are still twins, still made of the same atoms, still woven from the same childhood. But one is younger, not just in spirit, but in skin, in bones, in biology. It is subtle, but real, measured, confirmed. This is the twin paradox, a beautiful outcome of time dilation. Though it seems like a contradiction, it's only a paradox if you believe time is the same everywhere. And it isn't. One twin followed a gentler path through time, while the other rode the faster river. The difference comes from motion, from speed, and from acceleration, especially the turning point. The moment the traveller reverses course to return home, that shift, that curve back toward Earth, is where time makes its quiet adjustment. Think of time not as a line, but as a landscape. Some parts of it are steeper, some slower, some wide open, others tight and winding. The travelling twin moved across that terrain differently, not wrong, just differently. Their journey carved a shorter path through time, and the result? Youth preserved. But here's the wonder. Neither twin feels anything strange. They lived their moments in full. They laughed, slept, dreamed, loved. All in real time, their time. No one skipped ahead. No one waited. Each simply followed their own clock, and only when they came together again did the difference reveal itself. It's like listening to two songs, each beautiful, each complete, but played in different keys, and when they meet, there's harmony, but also contrast. This isn't a thought experiment anymore. In 1971, scientists flew precise atomic clocks on airplanes, eastward and westward around the world, and when they returned, the clocks disagreed. Each had experienced time differently, just like the twins. And in 2015, NASA gave us a glimpse of something deeper. Astronaut Scott Kelly spent nearly a full year aboard the International Space Station. His twin, Mark, stayed on Earth. When Scott returned, researchers studied them both. Their genes, their bodies, their minds. What they found was extraordinary. Not only had Scott's biological processes changed slightly, even his gene expression shifted in space. His time and his body's experience of it was different. They had lived the same calendar, but not the same time. There's something quietly emotional about this. That two people so close, so alike can carry different versions of the same years, and yet neither is wrong. Both lives are whole. It reminds you that your time is yours, your path through it is personal. Even if someone stands beside you every day, you are still carving a unique trail through space-time. Your memories, your pacing, your quiet waiting or sudden changes, they shape how time feels and how it leaves its mark. And if time can stretch between twins, what does that mean for you? Maybe that moments don't need to match, to be shared, that you and someone else can live the same day, and it can mean entirely different things, that you might grow older in minutes while someone else stays still in years. Time is generous like that. It adapts. It lets you age with grace or pause in motion or stretch a single glance into something that lasts. And when people come back together, after distance, after speed, after silence, they bring back different versions of now, and that too is beautiful. So as you lie here tonight, consider your own path through time. You're not static, you're not stuck. You're moving, and the universe is noticing. Every breath, every quiet choice, every love you hold close is shaping your journey through this elastic living thing we call time. And you carry it with you, in your bones, in your dreams, in the gentle ticking of the moments that make you, you. But there's more to your journey than clocks and age. Because time doesn't only stretch in the stars, it stretches inside you too. Your very body is a kind of time machine. Let's look inward now, to the quiet wonder of the time traveler inside your skin. Close your eyes now and draw your attention inward. Forget the stars, forget the speed of rockets. Let the vastness shrink until all that's left is you, your breath, your bones, your beating heart. You don't need to travel galaxies to feel the stretch of time. You're already doing it, quietly, constantly though. Because your body is a time machine. Not the science fiction kind, no levers, no blinking lights, but something far more elegant. You carry time, you hold it, and every part of you responds to it and shapes it. Let's begin with your cells. Each one is like a clock. They divide in rhythm, repair themselves in cycles, follow the soft choreography of circadian time. Within them are telomeres, tiny caps on the ends of your chromosomes, like the plastic tips on shoelaces. With each cell division, these tips wear down, a slow ticking that marks the aging of your body. Over time, telomeres shorten, and your body listens. The rhythm slows. The repairs aren't quite as sharp. The clock gently begins to wind down. And yet this process isn't absolute. Sleep, food, stress, love, all of these can shift your biological time. You age in more than one direction. Stress, for example, can speed the clock. It floods your body with signals, tells your cells to burn brighter, faster, and over time this rush can shorten your life. But peace, a deep breath, a walk in the woods, a gentle evening like this, can slow things down again. Your biology hears calm like a lullaby, and time listens. Now move deeper. Inside your brain, neurons fire in rhythm. Alpha waves, theta waves, each one a pulse, a pattern. Time, measured not by seconds, but by cycles of thought and attention. Have you ever lost yourself in a moment, so immersed that hours vanished in what felt like minutes, or felt time crawl while waiting, each second stretching like a drawn-out breath? That's your internal time machine, working, shifting pace, bending the clock of experience. Because time isn't just measured by watches and calendars, it's also measured by perception. Your brain has a natural tempo, and it can speed up or slow down based on motion, memory, mood. You might remember childhood summers as endless golden days, not because they were longer, but because they were filled with newness. Novelty stretches time, familiarity compresses it. The first time you fall in love, a moment might feel eternal, but the 100th morning with the same rhythm may pass without a trace. Your time machine responds to meaning. Even your heart is a metronome, each beat a moment, and it too can slow or race, shifting the soundtrack of your life. Now imagine this. A single strand of DNA inside you is older than the room you're in. It contains echoes from ancestors, instructions written thousands of years ago. In a way, it carries time forward. Not memory, but continuity. You are a moving archive of time, a keeper of rhythms, of ancient clocks, and when you sleep, when your eyes close and your breath evens, you enter a different mode of time entirely. Sleep is a reset, but it's also a journey. Your body cycles through stages, light sleep, deep sleep, REM, each one marked not by hours, but by oscillations in brainwaves and chemical tides. You fall into sleep not all at once, but like a pebble slipping through silk. And your dreams, they do not follow the same clock as waking life. In dreams, time flows strangely and stretching, skipping, repeating. Minutes in the real world might become hours in your mind. This too is your internal time machine at work. Untethered from external cues, it rewrites the rules for a while. You travel every night, not through space, but through temporal states. And still, even as you lie here, your body continues to tick. Tiny mitochondrial rhythms keep your cells alive. Liver enzymes surge and fade, hormones rise like tides and fall again. You are in truth a constellation of clocks, not all in sync, not all perfect, but working together to make the melody of your being. So when we say time passes for you, it's not metaphor. It's literal. You shape time with how you move, how you feel, what you remember, what you dream. You're not simply carried by time, you carry it. You mark it, you transform it. And this may be the most human thing of all. To turn time into meaning. You remember, you imagine, you wait, you hope. All of these are time's footprints inside you. So as you rest now, feel this soft truth. You are a time traveler. Not in leaps, but in layers. You live forward, you remember backward, and your body whispers to time in 1,000 different ways. But what about the time that travels to you? What about the starlight, ancient, delicate, that touches your skin tonight? Let's look upward now to the stars that shine with stories delayed. Let's feel the long patience of time by the light of stars. Step outside for a moment in your imagination. The night is quiet and the sky is clear. You tilt your head back and the stars greet you, scattered across the dark like fireflies frozen mid-flight. But what you're seeing isn't now, it's then. Because every star in the sky sends its light across space, and light takes time to travel. What reaches your eyes tonight, that glimmer, that sparkle, may have left its source hundreds, thousands, even millions of years ago. You're not watching stars, you're watching history. Light travels fast, about 300,000 kilometers every second, but the universe is vast beyond imagining. So even though light seems instant, it is always late. The sun's light takes just over 8 minutes to reach you. When you watch a sunset, you're seeing something that already ended. The sun has dipped below the horizon in real time. You're catching the last slow echo of its light. Look at Sirius, the brightest star in our night sky. Its light left 8.6 years ago. That star right now might be doing something new, or may have faded, but we won't know for years to come, and the farther you look, the older the light becomes. From galaxies millions of light years away, we receive messages carried on stretched waves. Light, softened by time and distance, arrives like a letter written in the early morning, opened long after the day is done. This is how the universe tells its story, in delay, in patience, and you, a quiet stargazer on a turning planet, are the reader. Think of the stars not as lights in the sky, but as lighthouses on distant shores. Their beams reach you through oceans of space, and in each one is a tale from long ago. When you look at the Andromeda Galaxy, a swirl of stars visible even with the naked eye, you're seeing it as it was 2.5 million years ago. Cave paintings had not yet begun. Humans, as we know them, had not yet arrived. And yet that light was already on its way. You are part of its destination. There's something profoundly intimate in that. that the light of stars has waited lifetimes to touch your skin, to reach the quiet of your eye, to become a memory, and light too is shaped by time. The longer it travels, the more the universe stretches it, a gentle tug called redshift. Waves of light lengthen as the cosmos expands. Colors fade toward the red, eventually beyond red into invisible radio waves. The farther away a galaxy, the more its light has been redshifted. So we don't just see the past, we see how the past has been stretched. And with every faint shimmer we detect, we learn about the pace of expansion, the age of the universe, the mysterious force pulling galaxies apart. Even darkness has its own light, the cosmic microwave background, a glow, faint and cold, left over from the birth of the universe. It comes from a time when there were no stars, only light and plasma and potential, and we can still see it. Not with our eyes, but with delicate instruments, eyes for ancient seers. It has travelled almost 14 billion years to reach us. We don't just live in time, we are bathed into it. Every ray of starlight is a traveller. Every photon that touches your face has made a journey you cannot fathom, through dust, through gravity, through silence. And you, for a fleeting instant, become its destination. Isn't that something? That you could lie back on the grass, breathe slowly, and catch a whisper of ancient light on your cheek. The night sky isn't just a ceiling, it's a library. A living record of what once was. A slow motion replay of creation unfolding. Even the moon plays this game, does it? When it glows white in the dark, you're seeing it as it was a moment ago, just over 1 second in the past. Not much, but still, not now. So tonight, as you look up, or simply imagine doing so, know that you're not just gazing, you're receiving. You're catching beams that have travelled alone for centuries. And in return, you're sending light too. Your body reflects photons, your eyes shine, your campfires glow, and those beams too begin their journey outward, into someone else's future. Perhaps, far away, a being will one day watch our star, our sun, and wonder who lived in its warm light. They'll see Earth as it was, not as it is, and they'll listen to our time, so you are part of this dance, participant in time's long reflection. A mirror held up to the stars. Let this thought rest with you, that even in sleep you are watched over by light that remembers, and the gravity that holds your planet in orbit. It too bends the path of light. It slows time, curves space, and pulls even moments closer to its heart. What then is the weight of time? Can a mountain slow a second? Can a planet hold back the flow of a moment? Let's fall now, not through space, but into feeling, into the subtle pull that gives every moment its gravity. Let yourself feel heavy now, not in a burdensome way, but in the way an anchor meets water, a slow sinking into stillness, the kind of a weight that quiets everything else, because weight, mass, isn't just something you carry. It carries time too, and the heavier something is, the more it pulls on time. This is gravity's secret. You already know gravity as the thing that keeps you here. That brings you back when you jump, that holds oceans in place, that carves the roundness of planets. But it does something even more delicate. It changes time itself. Not in a metaphorical way, not in how waiting feels slow or joy feels fast, but in the actual pace of seconds. Heavier things make time move slower. They stretch it gently. Imagine 2 clocks, one placed high on a mountaintop, the other buried in the valley below. Identical, perfect, built to count time with exquisite precision. Leave them alone, let them tick, return years later, and you'll find that the one in the valley has ticked fewer times, it has aged less. Why? Because it's sat closer to Earth's centre of gravity. And gravity slows time. This is not science fiction. This is experiment, observation, truth. Satellites account for this every day. Their clocks run faster than ours, and we adjust for that, or else GPS would fail, maps would drift, and timing would collapse, all because of gravity's slow hand on time's shoulder. Think of a black hole, that strange silent place where gravity becomes extreme. Near its edge, time itself begins to still. A clock hovering close would tick slower and slower, until from the outside it would appear to freeze. If you hovered safely above it, you could watch the universe race ahead, while your own seconds barely moved. You could witness epochs from a single perch, stars being born, galaxies drifting apart, civilizations rising and fading, all while you aged hardly at all. That's the power of gravity, not just to pull on mass, but to tug softly on the very flow of existence. Now come back to Earth, to your room, your bed, your own body. Here too gravity is working, always, not just on your bones, but on your time. The gravity beneath your feet is stronger than at the top of your head, which means in the tiniest way your head experiences time a bit faster than your toes. You're a gradient of time, a slow slope of seconds, from top to bottom. The effect is unimaginably small, but still it's real. It exists. You carry it. And more than that, you live in a world of layered time. Your city, your planet, your galaxy. Each moves through different flows, different gravity, different curves in space-time. We live our lives as if time is uniform, like a flat, even road. But really it's a soft terrain, with dips and hills, pulls and quiet lulls. You feel it in your bones sometimes, don't you? Not the weight of the world, but the weight of moments. Some memories feel heavier than others. Some hours feel anchored. You sense a kind of gravitational pull in the meaningful things, as if time thickens around emotion and loosens around repetition. That feeling may not be scientific, but perhaps it echoes the truth, that some moments have gravity, not mass, but meaning, and meaning holds you. Like a mountain holds a cloud, like a planet holds a moon. Your body too has its own gravity, not enough to bend time noticeably, but enough to pull. Atoms feel it, molecules respond. Your presence is not passive, you are not merely in the flow of time. You shape it, you resist it, you soften it. Even your breath pushes gently against the air. Even your dreams move the brain's chemistry. Even your thoughts carry weight. So rest in that truth. You are part of this enormous invisible ballet, a constant pull and pause, a soft warping of what we call now. And maybe this is why we long to mark our moments, with photographs, with words, with memory, to anchor time, to give it mass, to make it feel real, held, carried. So tonight, as you drift, feel the gravity of this moment. Not heavy, but rooted. Your bed holds you. The earth spins beneath you. The stars arc overhead. And all of it, every ounce of mass, shapes the seconds around you. You are wrapped in time that curves. You are not separate from it. You are cradled by it. But there is someone else who feels time differently too. Someone who floats far above us, where Earth's pull is weak, where speed and gravity shape their sleep. Let's join her now, far beyond the clouds, to hear the quiet rhythm of the astronaut's secret sleep. Far above the rooftops, beyond the rain, past the thinning air and the blue curve of atmosphere, and she floats, not falling, not flying, but orbiting. The astronaut moves fast, roughly 28,000 kilometers per hour. Faster than sound, faster than dawn. She circles the Earth every 90 minutes. 16 sunrises a day. 16 sunsets too. But right now, she's asleep, weightless, quiet, drifting in a small cocoon of humming machinery and soft lights. Velcro holds her blanket to the wall. Her breath forms tiny clouds that vanish in silence. She doesn't feel the speed. There is no wind, no motion in the traditional sense, just stillness, in motion, and something else too. Up here, time runs a little differently. Not so much that she notices, not enough to wake her, but enough that her sleep, her dreams, are happening just slightly slower than yours. This is time dilation in orbit. A combination of speed and distance from Earth's gravity. It bends her time like sunlight bends through water. Her clock ticks more slowly, by mere milliseconds, but real ones. While she sleeps, the people she loves on Earth age a bit more than she does. They shift slightly ahead in time. If she stayed up here long enough, the years, decades, she'd return younger than her twin, her friends, the world below, and all because of sleep, in motion. Now imagine her dreams. She's thinking of oceans, of her childhood bed, of the sound of leaves in the wind. But these dreams are floating through a space-time that is curved, quietly stretched by her orbit. She does not feel it. Her body hums in rhythm with the station, with the stars, with the soft pull of Earth beneath her. But her cells feel it. Her blood flows differently. Her bones lose density. Her muscles rest uneasily, confused by the absence of weight. Even her brain, that tireless organ, restructures its sense of space, of balance, of sleep. Astronauts experience changes in circadian rhythms. Their inner clocks are nudged by artificial light, by rapid sunrises, by the motionless floating of their bodies. So her sleep is never quite like yours. It is a strange, beautiful drift through a time that isn't yours. And while she dreams, Earth moves beneath her. Cities sleep, rivers run, voices rise and fade. From her small window she sees entire continents in the space between one breath and the next. She watches lightning storms from above. She sees the auroras curl across the poles. She gazes at the stars, and they do not twinkle, not from here. In space, the atmosphere no longer flickers the light. Starlight is steady, sharp, honest. She sees what you cannot, because of where she sleeps, because of how she moves, because of the time she inhabits. Now consider her heartbeat. It slows in sleep, just like yours, but every beat happens a fraction behind yours. Not because she's dreaming something different, but because the rules around her have shifted. Time bends for her, ever so slightly. Her biological clock, that internal rhythm of temperature, hormones and mood, has adjusted. She's on mission time now, a schedule made by humans to approximate Earth's flow in a place where Earth's flow no longer rules. It's a simulation of gravity, of day, of night. But even simulations can't undo the truth that her seconds are not your seconds. And yet, her life continues. She laughs, she works, she misses home, she drinks coffee from a sealed pouch, and when she wakes, she floats upward instead of sitting up. She begins her day in a time just slightly behind yours. Isn't that beautiful, that someone right now could be living seconds that are slower, that her every motion is being gently extended by the very laws of the universe? And yet, she doesn't feel behind. To her, all is normal. This is the magic of relativity. That time feels the same within your own frame. Only when compared do the differences appear. It makes you wonder how much of your own time has bent without you ever knowing. Maybe that long afternoon where time stood still wasn't just your mood. Maybe on some small scale, you were living in slower seconds. And maybe that sleepless night, where the hours slipped away, was time accelerating under your skin. Your body too is in motion. Earth spins, it orbits. It wobbles slightly, drawn by the moon. So you are never still. And every moment you sleep through a cosmos that curves your time in subtle ways. So as you lie here now, eyes closed, wrapped in blankets instead of stars, know that you are not so far from the astronaut. You too are in orbit, and your time, though you feel it as steady, is always moving differently from someone else's. So many timelines, all overlapping, all real, and perhaps that is the comfort of sleep, to let go of counting, to surrender to the drift. Because whether you're in space or in your own room, sleep is where you let the universe turn its pages without resistance. Let her sleep above you now, let yourself sleep below, and know that between you, time is stretching like a ribbon between stars. But what is the present really? What does now mean, when every moment is moving, every frame slightly different? Let's float into that question next, into the illusion of now. Take a breath and feel this moment. Right now, a soft inhale, the air cools your chest. You hear a faint sound, see a flicker of light or colour. This is your now, simple, clear, familiar. But what if I told you it doesn't really exist, not the way you think? Because now, that fragile instant between past and future, is not a universal truth. It is a local one, a personal one. In physics, there is no single now that everyone, everywhere shares. No clock in the sky, no master timeline that ticks for all things at once. Instead, time is a layer cake of experience. What is happening for you right now may already be over for someone far away, or may not have happened yet at all. Let's go deeper. Imagine two people moving past each other in space, each carrying their own perfect clock. As they glide past one another, they both agree on one thing, that they're seeing each other now. But if they each look farther, at distant stars, at blinking beacons, They'll disagree about what's happening right now at those far-off places. Because simultaneity, the idea that two events happen at the same time, is relative. It depends on where you are and how you move. There is no single global now. This is hard to grasp. Your brain wasn't built to live in space-time. It was built to keep you safe, to react to danger, to remember where the berries grew. So it knits time into a clean line. It says, this happened, then this, and it places you always in the middle. But time isn't a straight path, and now is not a pin on a map. It's a region, a smudge, a soft blur between perspectives, and you live inside that blur. When you look at a star 1,000 light years away, you're seeing it as it was 1,000 years ago. That star's now is long past, to you. But what if someone was standing beside that star looking at Earth? They'd see you not as you are now, but as you were 1,000 years ago, before you were even born, before your parents or their parents. Your now isn't theirs. And yet, from your point of view, you're both existing at the same time. This is the illusion that we share a single present, that all things happen in one great instant, but the universe doesn't play by that rule. The speed of light is the limit. No information travels faster, and so the farther things are, the older their story becomes to you. Every glance into the sky is a time machine. You're not seeing the stars as they are, but as they were, and they see you the same way. This doesn't just happen on cosmic scales. Even here, on Earth, the time it takes for light to move means that your experience of now is always a little delayed. You're not seeing the world in real time, you're seeing it in slightly old light. Nanoseconds here, microseconds there. Tiny delays layered onto everything you know, and still your brain weaves it all together into one seamless now. Like a conductor pulling scattered musicians into a single song, even your senses take time. It takes about 200 milliseconds. From the moment something touches your skin to when your brain processes the sensation. So even your own body is a history lesson, a gentle lag, a thoughtful delay. And yet, it feels instant. This is the beauty of perception. It edits, it aligns. It gives you a smooth story so you don't have to feel the noise beneath. But the universe remembers the noise, and in its memory, now is a shifting thing, a slope that changes with speed, with gravity, with distance. Some physicists even wonder if time is not fundamental at all, if it is emergent, like temperature, like sound, a thing that rises out of movement but doesn't exist on its own. And if that's true, then now is only ever an agreement, a temporary stitching of sensation into something useful. You are the seamstress. You thread moments together, call it a timeline, and place yourself within it. But outside your frame there are countless other threads, other nows, other dreams unfolding just out of sync. So tonight, as you rest, consider the gentleness of your illusion. Let it comfort you. You don't need the whole universe to agree with your now. You only need this breath, this heartbeat, this moment of listening. Because this moment, whatever it truly is yours. It may not be universal, but it is real. It is where you feel, where you remember, where you drift towards sleep. Let time scatter its truths beyond your reach. Let now dissolve into something softer. And as it does, notice how the colours of the universe shift, how the light stretches, fades, redshifts into silence. Let's follow that light now into the slow unfolding of the stretching of light. You've seen light all your life. Sunlight on water, moonlight on your pillow, the hush of morning spilling through curtains. But light is not just illumination. It is motion. It is memory, and it can stretch. You don't see it stretch, not with your eyes, not in the moment. But the universe does, because as light travels, especially across great distances, it changes, begins fast and bright, a short, tight wave full of energy. But the longer it moves, the more the universe pulls on it. Not roughly, not like a rope being yanked, more like dough slowly kneaded by the expanding fabric of space. This is redshift, a light wave that begins blue, short, sharp, awake, gradually lengthens. Its colour fades toward red, then deeper, beyond what we can see, into infrared, into microwave, into radio. The farther it travels, the more it stretches. This is not because the light is tired, but because the universe is growing. Space itself is expanding, like the surface of a balloon being slowly blown up. Galaxies aren't flying away from us through space. They are being carried with it. The space between us and them is getting bigger, so the light they send has to cross more and more distance. And as it does, it stretches, it ages. This is why when we look into the depths of the sky, we are looking back in time. The light from nearby stars is still young, blue-white, confident, but the light from far-off galaxies is redder, gentler, changed, not just because of distance, but because of time itself being pulled thin. Now imagine the earliest light, the glow from when the universe was just a baby, not stars yet, not planets, just hot plasma cooling into something new. That light still exists, still moves, still stretches. We call it the cosmic microwave background, and the oldest light we can see. It is everywhere, soft and faint, like an ancient lullaby still echoing across the nursery of space. It began as something fierce, blazing, blinding, blue-hot, but now it's cold, barely 2.7 degrees above absolute zero, stretched over 13.8 billion years into a gentle hum. You can feel its echo in old television static, in precise instruments that listen to the silence of space. This light, once a burst, is now a breath, a long, slow exhale of time itself. Even starlight, even the golden light of dawn has its origin in motion. A star burns. Photons rise from deep within. They dance through layers of plasma, through gravity's slow embrace through space and time. And the journey bends them. A photon from the sun takes tens of thousands of years to travel from the core to the surface, then only 8 minutes to reach your skin. So when sunlight warms your face, you are being touched by something ancient, something that waited, and all of it, from solar flares to distant galaxies, is shaped by stretching. Like sound becomes lower as it moves away, light becomes redder, slower in wave, but not in speed, because light always travels at the same pace, constant, pure. What changes is the space it crosses, and as space grows, so does the light. So imagine now a single photon born in the bright flare of a galaxy's birth. It begins its journey, crossing millions of light years. It passes dust, dips around gravity wells, bends through the curve of space-time. By the time it touches your telescope or brushes your eye, it is no longer what it was. It has stretched. It has changed. It carries the story of the journey with it, like a letter worn thin from too many hands, and you, the reader, can only guess at the hand that first wrote it. This is the poetry of redshift. That colour becomes time, that motion becomes memory, and you live inside this light. You walk through its layers. You are made of its echoes. Even your own body glows faintly in infrared. You are a source of stretched light, a quiet torch in the dark. So tonight,